Hi, so there's like an overwhelming amount of resources that you could use. I hate looking at like Takealot or Temu or even going to these stores like B&A because I see it and I get so excited about the amount of things I could do with these resources and the ideas that I have. And so what I'm going to show you, or what I want to show you, is like the basics, the bare minimum stuff that you should have. Like that is, I'm trying to make that the theme, like things that you should have or could have in your home. So recently I had two birthdays in the family, and they were both in grade R. And I thought something good to gift them was a set with, sorry, a set of these like large cards. So they're nice and big, and they help because the pictures are there for them to count if they cannot add abstractly it. So if they can't say 2 plus 2 is 4, you can count 2 plus another card of 2 gives us 4. So I thought that was quite a nice skill for them to learn. I also just printed these minus and equal, and then there's some plus signs as well. So these sums can work with dominoes, they can work with these regular playing cards, or they can even work with Uno cards. It really just depends on what you have at home. And then another thing that you can do, so that's just for regular, make a pile, make 2 piles and say, okay, so what is this card? 6 plus 3. And then they count, or they add in their mind, they do mental math, and then they give you the answer. And they can either write it down, or you can ask them to just verbally tell you the answer. So that is something really easy. Then this is something my daughter actually really loves. It's called One More, One Less. And this is a principle from Twinkle. Now, Twinkle does offer, I'm not getting paid for this, Twinkle does offer free, like 1 month subscriptions, and then you can kind of see if you really like it. I think it costs something like 90 Rand per month, which can be a lot if you don't really need it. But anyway, so in the middle here, so I would take a card. So it says 1 less, my number, 1 more. And so, for example, I would take out a card, and if my card is, my card is 2, so I'll put 2 in the middle. And then what is 1 less than 2? Obviously 1. What is 1 more than 2? And I would write 3. You could do this with dice as well. So if you don't have cards at home, you just take dice and you just let your child roll and figure out what's 1 less, what's 1 more. Having these abstract thinking skills really helps with being able to verbalize their thinking. Because a lot of the time in assessments, we always hear about assessments, and I don't know how parents cope without knowing what's actually happening in the assessment, because I think I'm just the person that I'd want to know what's it going to be like so I can support the child emotionally, because I've seen a lot of kids who get anxiety, and there's a lot that we can do about that as well. So if you want me to go through an assessment as well, I'm willing to do that. I can find an old one and we can just work through it together so you understand what would be taking place in that classroom, how it would work for you and the teacher, what the teacher's expectations are, especially if you're not getting any information back, because chances are that teacher has so many scripts to go through, so many things that as much as they would love to just send everybody an information back, it's absolutely overwhelming, especially without the proper, technological infrastructure in place, emails, and sometimes WhatsApp is all they have. Not making excuses, just this is really what it is like. So 1 more, 1 less. Some other things that you, especially in grade R, that they want you to know is how to spell the number names. Now, when you do number names, you're going to use, you need to try and use the best, most clear font for kids. I know when I was studying to become a teacher, it was ABC Junior. It's now changed so many names. Cami Primary, there's different names. But the main idea is that the font is legible to a grade R learner or grade 1 learner who's just starting to read. So no flicks and no funny twirls and no like bubble letters. It's very plain, very straightforward. Um, Also, another thing on that is when you are teaching your child, for example, this one more, one less concept, and your child is reversing numbers, as much as you want to be like, oh, can you shouldn't write it that way. What way does a 7 go? It's what I do is I compartmentalize, so I kind of tell myself, what is the skill I'm looking for today? Am I looking for the handwriting? Am I focusing on teaching a handwriting lesson? If not, then that's not the skill I'm focusing on today, and that can wait for another day. Because that child might be so excited that they knew what one lesson, one more was without needing any concrete apparatus, tools to work with. Um, and then the minute we like, oh, but you actually wrote that the wrong way, the brain shuts down, and we're just like, the lesson that was going so well, we wonder why they're frustrated, why they're like not participating anymore. So if we can avoid it, unless it's absolutely necessary, you're doing a handwriting lesson and you're practicing handwriting with your child or as a student teacher with the class, it's okay to, reassure them, guide them, but otherwise don't provide feedback that isn't crucial to the task at hand. Okay. There's a lot more in my maths kit, but I didn't want to overwhelm you. So, like I said, this channel is for you guys. Please let me know if there's anything that you need, anything that I can